What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo, and Kwon Alexander has signed a one-year deal with the New York Jets. This is huge news. But before we get into that, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel grow. For those of you who may be looking around being like, what is this? We actually were out with the baby. We're out at my mother-in-law's house. We really wanted her to be able to spend time with the baby today and stuff like that. And this news dropped and I had to drop a video on it. So let's talk about Kwon Alexander and what this means for the Jets linebacking core. Now, a lot of people know that I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of going out and signing Kwon Alexander, not for anything other than the fact of I really like Hamza and I really like Jamie Sherwood and I really like Quincy and Williams, and I didn't want snaps being taken away from those guys for a guy that's only going to be here on a one-year deal. But the more I keep looking at this team and this roster and what we've built here in New York and what Joe Douglas is creating in New York, I'm really more and more starting to realize that this is a team that maybe a lot of people don't necessarily believe in this take, but a lot of like Jets fans, and I think people who really look at this, the roster construction, can look at it and go, this can be the first step of us winning moving forward. And this can be a year that if Zach takes a good jump moving forward, that we could look at a team that's possibly 10, 11, 12 wins this year. Now, I know that's a lot of wins, especially with where we were coming from last year. But if you take last year and you look at that, we were a 4-win team, but there were 3 games there that were less than a score or a score away. We almost won the Tampa game. We almost won the Carolina game early on in the year. The second Miami game, I believe, could have gone a different way. So there's a lot of games there that we look at last year, and last year's roster was so much worse than this year's roster. But like, if you look at it, this team I don't think is that far away, and bringing in a player like Kwon really helps out that linebacking core and really just solidifies a pretty weak, or not weak, but a pretty inexperienced unit. Now, before everyone goes like Kwon is the savior, he's going to be the number 2 linebacker or anything like that, we do have to keep in mind that Kwon has a massive injury history. I don't think he's completed an entire season in like 3 or 4 years. There's always something wrong or like some type of nagging injury, something going on with Kwon Alexander. And you hope that when he comes to New York, that's not the case, that he's not going to come in, play 6 or 7 games, and then get hurt again. But ultimately, what Kwon seems like it's going to be is that he's going to be a stopgap for a year. And I really had grown onto this signing basically after what Connor Hughes said on the Green Bean podcast interview that they did. If you haven't watched that, go watch that. It's incredible. But he was talking about Pinnock at the safety position, and I was like, hey, he's a converted corner to safety. They really want to give him time to learn the position. It seems like a Kwon signing is a stopgap for a year to give Jamin and Hamza full year of being healthy, but not just being healthy, giving them the opportunity to really learn the position, learn how to play the linebacker, because we have to remember they're converted safeties coming down to play linebacker. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is pretty big signing, pretty big news. It really does shake up what we're going to expect when it comes to roster cuts times. I always expected that if we didn't sign Kwon Alexander, we were going to carry one less linebacker to carry an additional defensive lineman. Well, if we are going to carry one less linebacker now, who do we not carry? Or do we carry a full room of linebackers? Do we carry 6 linebackers? And if so, who are we sacrificing? Bringing in Kwon Alexander is a great signing and great depth for that linebacking core that was relatively weak, but now we've got a lot of roster cuts and roster questions that are going to be coming into the fold. Really interesting, and I love that JD got this done like day 2 of training camp, so there's not like he's missing out on a bunch of stuff. He can still come in and compete and really earn his spot as the Will or the Sam linebacker because I don't believe that he's going to beat CJ for the mic. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And last but not least, go Jets.